When I first moved to a condo, I thought I was finished renting rooms and now I have my own place. I can have a roommate and I can make the rules and tell the roommate about the rules and how to keep the place nice and everything else. So in the beginning, it was okay, but I always had issues with the management. Then I moved to a two-bedroom. Then the management was fine for a while. Then I had issues with the roommate. Then I had issues with the neighbor. The neighbor was the worst because this one place I was living downstairs and the people upstairs they were up north. So 6 months out of the year it was vacant, so nobody was there. And they decided to sell the place after a while, and then this investor he bought the place. And the day after he bought the place, I think somebody went in there. That's what I think, but I don't have the proof. I'm not sure. The washing machine burst the hose, and then my unit, like 3:30 in the morning, it's a weird timing because it only happened 3:30 in the morning, got flooded, like the whole walls and the water like getting flooded. And I called the emergency number, nobody answers, which was that was the reason why it's a bad management, because there was this one lady, she was the manager and she's supposed to answer the phone, but she didn't. Supposedly she was on vacation. And then from 3:30 till like 7 o'clock in the morning, the place was like 2-3 inches of water. I'm like walking in cold water. And I went to the maintenance garage, and luckily this guy maintenance, he was there, and he came. He shut off the main water. He doesn't have the key to the unit upstairs, and he shut off the main water of the whole building, so the whole building didn't have water for that time. And finally the water stopped dripping, the flooding, but the walls were peeling and everything was wet, like my furniture and the bed, everything. um, but luckily the electrical thing didn't go out, but the whole baseboard, everything gets mold. But this guy, finally, the owner that just bought the place, he came. He don't live there. He's gonna rent the place. So, and he called some plumber. The plumber told him the hose is made of rubber hose, and it burst supposedly at that time. I'm not sure, but I don't know if it was an accident or on purpose. But here's the thing: it burst. They're supposed to have stainless steel braided hose by the association, but the people upstairs, I don't know who did that. So they had it, the cheap one, the plastic hose, the rubber one that you're supposed to put, if you live in a house in a garage or something. But they had it that way, and that's how it happened. So technically it's his fault, but he didn't want to cover the expenses, and he was from out of state in Chicago, and I couldn't chase after him because he has some PO box address I couldn't find. But he did call Stanley Steamer to dry up the place, because if I get mold, I was gonna get somebody to go after him, and he would have problems too, because the mold, it gets all over the place gets mold. So finally they brought those huge 15 fans, that runs constantly for like 2 or 3 days, and that's how they suction the water out too, and all of that. It was a chaos. Like the whole place was a mess. Like they had to move everything away from the walls, all the furniture, everything. So in the end, I had to stay with a friend of mine for about 3 weeks. And later, when I came back to the unit, it needed like oh what you call this? The ceiling, that the whole thing, as a sheetrock fell down, because it's not a real concrete wall. Like first there is a concrete, and then there is that sheetrock. So they called the maintenance. So because it's like building material, the association paid for it. But other than that, I was responsible to put the new. I put the same baseboard. They just with a nail gun and everything. I had a contractor do it, a handyman, not a, because those companies, they charge a lot because they have license and insurance. So I had a handyman do it, actually a friend of mine. So in the end, I moved back in there, but the place looked like a war zone, and I had to get rid of some furniture and things. So I had bad experiences with living in condos. So I decided to move from there to another one, and this other one had very strict rules about roommates. They told me you can't rent, you can't divide your condo and collect rent. So that was a real bummer. So they told me you can have him as a guest because I had this roommate. He worked in that area, and then um, he has to pay me rent, but they told me, well, yeah, we can't have somebody dividing their condo and collecting rent. So, and that was one problem. The second one was the washer dryer. There was no washer dryer inside the unit, so I had to go outside and bring change, and I had to put a step stool to climb on the dryer because it was so high, and that was a mess because I had to go down and get my sheets and towels and things. It was like, unbelievable. That's like a condo, I would be assuming, and then I asked them, is it allowed for me to install washing machine? They told me, no, we don't allow that. That's not allowed. But now after like 3-4 years, maybe all the people, they voted for that because it's so inconvenient. And now they allow that after I moved out. But before they told me, no, you can't have that. And then I called up a plumbing company. They told me, no, we can't install that. This is a construction because you need new piping because the washing machine has a lot of water pressure, and you need to install heavy duty, some kind of plumbing, and they had to tear the walls, and it was an expensive project anyway. So I didn't know that it was uh, expensive and a long project. So yeah, I had one bad situation after another. I mean, I could have stayed there and went maybe to the laundromat and all of that, but I was always looking for something better, something long term. And every time I move to a place, I'm thinking this is the place and I'm gonna be here long term, at least 5 years, at least 8 years. And next thing you know, before the 2 year uh, term, before the 2 years, I'm moving out because first it was a seller's market, so I thought I want to take advantage of that. I can sell it for more. But then I started looking for another place because I didn't want to rent rooms forever. Yeah, so this is the story of me constantly moving, not because I want to, because of the situations. And then when I'm looking for a place, I'm reading the basic rules, but then when I'm moving there and then I'm interviewing with a board member, and then they ask me questions and I ask them questions, then I'm finding out about more details about the rules, because I'm assuming all condos, it's standard, and once you own the place you can do whatever you want, as long as you don't break the rules, like the rules are outside. But that wasn't the case. So now I learned a lot about condos, and now I'm back renting a room till I find a condo, or eventually I don't want to keep renting rooms. So yeah, that's the situation, me, because I'm moving constantly. So that's the reason why, and I wanted to share this with you. Well, leave me a comment in the comment section below, and this is what I have for you today. Please put a like and subscribe to my channel, and I see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.